Hello, my name is Frank, and today we're going to talk about a way of solving a system of linear equations by substitution. There's numerous ways to solve a system. Graphing, substitution, elimination, calculator. But today we're just going to do some very basic substitution methods. So this is our lesson today. Now, a lot of you substitute in daily life. You could substitute 2 nickels for a dime. You could substitute 4 quarters for $1. So instead of giving a person $1, you could say, well, I'll just give you what it's equal to, 4 quarters. And that's the concept of substitution. In sports, we substitute a lot. We put one player in place of another player. We just hope they're of the same ability. So in this case, we have 2 equations. One says x is -2, and one says y is equal to -x plus 6. So what do? Well, since x is -2, we go to the second equation and substitute, instead of x, we write what it's equal to, -2. So this -2 goes in place of x because it's equal to -2. So we write y is equal to -x. But what is x? It's -2 plus 6. So y is equal to -x plus 6. So the opposite of a -2 is a +2, and 2 plus 6 is 8. So we have x to be -2, y to be 8, and since these 2 graphs would denote lines if you were to graph them on a plane, we write the answer as an ordered pair. We write the x first and the y second, and that's our answer to our first equation. This ordered pair will satisfy this one. X is -2. There it is. Now, what's -x? A negative is +2, and 2 plus 6 is 8, and that's this. So that's the concept of substitution. Our second example is just using the y. Y is 5. But y is also 1/2 x. So we take that 5 and we put it right there. So we have y, which is now 5, is 1x over 2, or x over 2. Now, if we cross multiply, we get 1x, or x, is equal to 10. So we have y to be 5, and x to be 10. So we write the answer in alphabetical order. X goes first, and y goes second. Now, if you look at it, y is 5. There it is. Now, what's 1/2 of 10? 1/2 of 10 is 5. There it is. It's always nice if you have time to check your answers. A third example. We have 2 equations. Y is now equal to -2x. And the second equation is x plus 3y is -10. So we're going to substitute. We have -2x for y And we're going to put that right there, because that's what y is equal to. So we write x plus 3y. But y is equal to negative 2x. And that's equal to negative 10. Just make sure you see that. X plus 3y. And y is equal to negative 2x. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Negative 5x is negative 10. And we divide by negative 5. And we get x to be 2. So we write our answer in ordered pair form. X comes first. Excuse me, we haven't received y yet. We got to get y. Now, y can be obtained by using either this equation or the second one. But I think the one I have circled would be the quickest. So if you were to take this number 2 and go all the way back up into there and say y is negative 2 times your x value, which is 2, you get y's to be negative 4. Now we write the answer as an ordered pair. X is first, y is second. Now let's check this. What's negative 2 times 2? Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Bingo. Let's go to this one. What's x? You'd say, well, x is 2. What's 3 times negative 4? Well, you say 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Does that give you negative 10? It does. That's it. So our answer checked, and there it is. Okay. Our fourth example in substitution is y is equal to x plus 4, and y is equal to 2x minus 1. Okay, think about this. If you had $1, wouldn't that equal 4 quarters? You'd say, yeah. If you had $1, wouldn't that equal 10 dimes? You'd say, yeah. Well, if $1 is equal to 4 quarters and $1 is equal to 10 dimes, wouldn't it be true that 4 quarters is equal to 10 dimes? You'd probably say, yeah. So since they're both equal to the same thing, one's equal to 4 and one's equal to 10, we use that concept up here. If y is equal to x plus 4 and y is equal to 2x minus 1, why couldn't we do this? Just put that down there for y. Say these two must equal. So you could say x plus 4 is equal to 2x minus 1. And then you could solve it the way you choose. If you subtract 2x from both sides, you would get negative x plus 4 is negative 1. Subtract 4 from both sides and get negative x is negative 5, and divide by negative 1 and get x to be positive 5. Now, where do you want to put this to get y? You could put it here or here. I'm just going to put it in that circle. Y is equal to 5 plus 4, which is 9. So I believe the answer is 5, 9. Let's check it. What's 5 plus 4? You say that's 9. There it is. Let's go to the second one. What's 2 times 5? Say 10 minus 1. You say 9. There it is. It's correct. Okay? And then our last example today. We will build on this in the future. But on this one, neither one is solved for it. Why? So you say, so how do I do it? Well, suppose this is 1x. This is 5y. This is 2x, and this is 3y. Well, if I were to ask you to solve for one of these equations, solve this for x, you'd say, okay, take the 5y over. Good. If I said, take this, solve this for y, you would say, okay, take the x over. Say, good, but then you would have to divide by 5, and there's your fraction. So what I do is I look for one that's a variable that's got a coefficient of 1, right there. It's that invisible 1. That would be me, the easiest one to solve for. So let's solve for this one right here, this x. If you solve for y, you would have to divide by 5. Fraction. Solve for x, divide by 2. Fraction. Solve for y, divide by 3. A fraction. So right there. So we rewrite that equation, and we want to get x. So we subtract 5y from both sides. And you get x is equal to, write it the way you choose. I'm just going to write the negative 5y first, minus 2. So that's x. Now, this was the one you solved. So forget it. You used it. Now go to this one. And every place you see that x, you write that. So you got 2x plus 3y is 3. Okay? Distribute here. Get negative 10y minus 4 plus 3y is 3. Okay? Collect like terms. You get negative 7y minus 4 is 3. Balance your equation by adding 4 to both sides. Negative 7y is 7. And then finally divide by negative 7. And let's come over here. You get y is equal to negative 1. Now, where do you want to put negative 1? You could go there, that we've crossed out. You go there. But my choice is here in the circle, because it says x is. So x is negative 5 times y, which is negative 1, minus 2, which is 5 minus 2, or 3. So we believe our answer to this is 3, negative 1. X, y. Let's check it. X, 3. Y is negative 1. What's 5 times negative 1? You say that's negative 2. So 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. Is 3 minus 5 negative 2? It is. Let's check this one. What's 2 times 3? 2 times 3. You say that's 6. What's 3 times negative 1? You say that's negative 3. Is 6 minus 3 equal to 3? It is. And there it is. So, that's the concept of substitution, as long as they're equal. So tonight, you can substitute that pizza for a can of spinach. See you next time.